Hello everyone, it's Kristen and welcome back here to Joyfully Thriving. I want to spend some time talking to you today about inflation because I know it's something we're all feeling right now. And yikes, it's just going crazy, isn't it? I spoke to some moms this past week, and that was what we all agreed our biggest financial struggle has been this year, has been inflation. Doesn't matter where you are, what family you're shopping for, the groceries you're buying, inflation has hit us all. The Consumer Price Index releases stats every month, tallying up everything that's been happening. And as of October 13th, the current inflation rate is at 8.2%. That's a high rate. Even worse, energy, the rate of energy inflation is at 23%, and our eat-at-home rate of inflation is 13%. 13%, that's crazy. We're not imagining this. The prices are ridiculously high. Here's some other numbers for you in case those numbers don't startle you enough. Now, no, I'm not a finance expert at all. I'm just a mom who is doing the best I can to be frugal and stretch all of our money and make it last for us as I care for our family. I do like knowing the numbers and doing that research. And I think it's important that we all know the numbers because we have to know where we are so we know where we're going. Okay, so here we go. Let me toss you out a couple more numbers first here. Commodity increases. Again, now commodities are the things that are sold in the market. So they're not the actual goods we're buying yet, but they're working their way down. But commodity prices do trickle down and affect what we are eventually buying. So here's some commodity prices increases that we have been seeing over the past year. Wheat, 23%, cheese, 22%, milk, 21%, butter, 55%. Yeah, those prices are getting crazy. Potatoes, 38%, corn, 34%, coffee, amazingly, is only a 1% commodity increase, beef, 2%, and eggs in the commodity market are a 261% increase. Yikes, again. The USDA, which is the U.S. Department of Agriculture, also releases a food price outlook, and they periodically update those as well. So again, as of October, they have looked at inflation we have seen over the past year and what will be coming. So these are their predictions for the remainder of 2022. They are expecting beef to increase between 5 and 6%, fish between 9 and 10%, eggs between 26 and 27% still. They've already gone up a lot. Fresh fruit between 8 and 9%. Fresh vegetables between 4.5 and 5.5%. Canned fruits and vegetables between 10 and 11%. Fats and oils, which that would be everything from butter to your canola, vegetable oil, any of those type of things, between 18 and 19%. And cereals and baked goods between 13 and 14%. Now, those are just predictions, but that is on top of the 13% we have already seen. So, yikes, inflation is going crazy. The question is, what are we going to do about it? What can we do with inflation in 2022 and as it continues? They say, the USDA also predicts that inflation will return to normal levels of 2 and 3% in 2023. I think I'm probably not alone in saying I'm very skeptical that we're going to see levels that low again, especially based on what we are already seeing. It would just be ridiculous to see them drop that much. I would be very thankful if they did, but that shall remain to be seen. So, what are we going to do about food inflation and inflation as a whole? Let's talk about what can we do with inflation. So, what are we going to do about inflation? We have to do something. So we have to start doing something different. We can't keep doing the same things and expect to see different results. The prices are going up. There is no escaping that fact. I just shared all those numbers. So it's time to change the way we think and the way we shop. That's the only way we're going to work against inflation and do our best to fight it and beat it. So how do you do that? How do you change the way you think and shop? Here's a couple ideas. I'm going to throw a bunch out there. I have other videos on this, and we're going to keep talking more about this because I know inflation is not going away. So we're going to keep talking about it. First up, one of the most basic things you can do, of course, is you start shopping the sales. You watch what's on sale and that's what you eat. You go to the cheapest grocery store, find what that is. If you know Walmart is cheaper than your local grocery store, go where the prices are lowest. You have to know your prices and find those deals. Use less. Start using less of things. Use less sugar when you're baking. Use a little less meat in that recipe. All of those things will help. Along those lines, make substitutions. Choose cheaper things. Maybe start using margarine instead of butter occasionally. You can use a sharper cheese instead of a mild because you can use less and the flavor will go on. There are a lot of substitutions you can make, so start figuring those out and trying them. Don't waste your leftovers. If you're spending all the money to buy the food, make sure you're eating them. You don't want to eat them right away, put them in your freezer. Your freezer's your friend. Utilize it. Save your leftovers in the freezer for later. Make meals ahead. When you're buying on sale, if you find good deals on meat especially, buy it now when you can find it at a low price and stick it in your freezer. Cook from scratch. The more you cook from scratch, the more money you're going to save. Watch your unit prices. Just because the bottle is bigger or the box is bigger doesn't always mean it's a good deal. Just look, most stores now have to say it on their shelf tags. It'll say price per ounce. Look at it and compare it of the products, whether it's generic or name brand or the different sizes. Pay attention to that and start thinking outside the box. Get creative and find ways to save money. All of these things will help you beat inflation. But the most important way that I really think is going to save you the most money is to have a stockpile. I've talked about that a lot before, and I have plenty of other videos about that, and there will be more to come, because having a stockpile is your best way to beat inflation. If you take, for example, $200 and you stick it in your savings account because you found some extra money and it's sitting there at 1% interest. Great, you're saving money, and I am all for having money in savings. Don't get me wrong. I think everyone needs an emergency fund and everyone does need money in savings. But if you took that same $200, went out today and spent it on canned goods and groceries that your family is eating, and then you watch the prices go up at 13%, which one is actually going to save you more money? It's using that money on the food that you bought. You have more buying power right now. I know it's different to think of things that way, that you're investing almost in a way in food, but it's something your family is always going to need. All of those things, toilet paper, tissues, your food, anything. You can stockpile any of that. And if you change the way you think, as well as the way you shop, and build that stockpile, you can do it on a budget, it will help you beat inflation. So that's a lot about inflation. I know I threw a lot of numbers at you really quick, as well as a bunch of just different quick ideas to really hopefully get you thinking. I'd love to know what you are seeing on inflation at your grocery stores or in the areas where you live. These are some of my thoughts. Again, I live in northern Indiana, so I know my prices are different, especially from those of you who lives on the coast. But yes, please let me know in the comments, because we're all fighting the same inflation battle together. I firmly believe we can get through this, and we will. Yes, this is the highest rate of inflation since 1979 in over 4 decades. That's a long time, but they made it through then, and we can make it through now. I'm not giving you all these facts to discourage you and frustrate you, but hopefully to make you aware and just start thinking about ways that you and your family can help fight inflation. If you like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and stick around, so we'll be talking more about inflation and stockpiling and other ways to save money at home. And if you have any questions or comments or your thoughts on inflation, I'd love to hear it. Leave them in the comments and I will join you there. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.